Minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Judd, let me kind of go a little different direction here for a moment. You've noted in the past some of the challenges of securing the border on federal lands. Specifically, what sort of obstacles do agents face when access is limited, say to endangered species or wilderness designations?
Well, I can tell you that I started my career in El Centro, California, and in El Centro, California, if an illegal alien crossed the border, I could follow that illegal alien in my vehicle till I caught him forever. It didn't matter how long. I could go forever until I followed him. But if you go and look at Arizona, if an illegal alien crosses the border, I have to get out of my vehicle, I have to call somebody, they have to try to get ahead of me, and there are very, very few access roads, which then puts us behind the curve, and it's very difficult to apprehend those individuals on protected lands.
Mr. Vitiello, a similar type of thought with you regarding federal lands. You're aware of the permitting delays on federal lands, whether it's for road maintenance or forward operating bases or mobile surveillance systems, what have you. What is an acceptable period of time for permitting to take place for your agency before you've lost your tactical advantage?
So in the concept of when agents are in what we call hot pursuit, when they're actively following a trail, even in a wilderness area, they have the ability to continue on that traffic. As it relates to infrastructure and other improvements that are made in certain protected lands, we have a three-agency memorandum of understanding with the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Interior to work through things like permitting, environmental assessments for improvements that we want to make, to install surveillance equipment or to access roads, et cetera.
But at some point, your intel becomes irrelevant if permitting takes so long to where you can't. What kind of time frame is reasonable?
Well, as soon as we can do it, as soon as possible is the best time frame.
Are you receiving cooperation from other agencies?
The MOU provides a mechanism for us to start the conversation and then work through the expectations and milestones to get things accomplished that we need to have done.
Okay. Of course, we all know that ISIS is attempting to exploit any and all of our loopholes on our nation's national security, and in particular our borders, from infiltrating the refugee program and so forth. But when it comes to our borders, how high are the security risks? And how can we mitigate those? I'll begin, Mr. Judd, with you real quickly.
They're extremely high. The best way that we can mitigate these risks are resources in the field, giving us the resources that are necessary so that we're not leaving areas of the border just completely unmanned.
Okay. Mr. Ting?
I think it's very much related to the volume of border crossers that have to be processed. I mean, we're all aware that there was a tremendous border surge in FY 2014, and preliminary statistics show that the border surge in the current fiscal year, 2016, may exceed that number. I think when you have a historic border surge, that obviously stresses whatever resources are available at the border, and it makes it more likely that security risks can take advantage of that situation and penetrate our border, simply riding the tide of the high volume of processing that has to occur. And looking at FY 2016, I think a lot of us think we're confronting that situation this year.
Okay, let me ask you, Mr. McCraw, how high are the security risks and how do we mitigate it?
They're substantial. And until you secure it, you can't mitigate it fully. And I know Congressman Connolly was concerned about MS-13 and other criminal aliens that come across, and how do you keep them from coming back? The only way you do it is secure it. And the way you secure it is you provide Border Patrol additional agents, detection technology, aviation assets, and a unity of effort, and work the type of programs that will deter criminal activity. And that's the only way that you're going to be able to actually mitigate the risks.
Could I, Mr. Chairman, could I just weigh in?
The gentleman's time's expired. We're going to have votes here, so I want to make sure that the other members have a chance to ask their questions. So let me recognize the